Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail.
Yo, my man, why you got on that purse, huh?
Hey, this ain't no fucking purse. I'm the big dilf. Don't do that. $100 Patron in the bid at, you heard? Get your money up, not your funny up.
Yeah.
Eminem is a
Never.
Eminem is a
Never.
We live, dog. Yo, you gotta move the camera a little bit, though.
Eminem is a
Never.
I got what?
Move the camera a little bit.
Eminem is a
Never.
Which direction? This direction?
Eminem is a
Never.
Yeah. Because you just OD close.
It's the Mumfu Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We back.
Giving
He's
you
painting
a
a
feeling.
picture.
He's like, yeah, like
visualizing
like, yo, I've
shit
been
that
there
I
before.
can
Something that real
I can
niggas
feel.
can relate
yeah,
to.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, right?
He
So,
would, Coogee Rap would never talk about a wedgie in his fucking ass. Just because it rhymed.
So what happens? So Eminem is a
Never.
What happens with
I think it's episode 17,
Eminem is a
Never.
Something like that.
possibly. See, we had this plan to shoot a while ago, but then Lord Jamar responded to M. Lord Jamar responded to Eminem on his Godcast with the Yada I mean.
It's a fire name, by the way.
Definitely fire.
Fire name.
And he's up there with Rah Digga. For just a recap, Jamar was all Vlad, essentially saying what he was saying in this interview, where he was saying Eminem can't be the GOAT, and Eminem's not the best rapper, and really just taking a lot away from Eminem. So Eminem responded on the record, and they got into it. So, you know, we watched it, and we about to
Give you the Mumfu breakdown.
word. So what you think?
Man. Let me start by saying this.
Wait, off tops though, I was thinking that, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going live today at 9 p.m. Central. Log in. Remember that. Just have to plug that. But, don't do that.
No, I wasn't trying.
So, what was I saying? The thing is, I forgot that Rah Digga, I'm pretty sure Rah Digga is affiliated to Aftermath. And I started to think about it, because I was like, I know she was affiliated with Dre around the, like, Chronic 2000 time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I think back, was she signed to Interscope or Aftermath?
Could have been.
So then it made me realize that, oh yeah, she gonna talk the, you know, that Eminem side. And then
But she was real, she was real PC in that interview. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, she said the right stuff though.
Yeah.
She said the right stuff. Oh yeah, my bad. What did you think?
I thought I was gonna say that. I was gonna say first, I think that Rah Digga was pretty quiet about her side of it.
Rah Digga, what?
Lord Jamar, I got mixed emotions about him because what he be kicking is like valid. Like sometimes he be kicking shit valid, but like he does it in such a way that it makes you not want to agree with him just because he's being a douche. You know what I mean? Like, but like he's a very Joe Budden-ish, but more Joe Budden's dad. Like,
But here's the thing that I started realizing, right? Off top. Everybody who got dissed is coming out and they're like the only people that's saying that it was whack. Now, how I knew from the beginning it was like, okay, you guys are just salty because this is definitely what you asked for, and then you got it, now you're saying it's whack because you dissed you. But here's the thing. The first thing I found weird was when Lord Jamar says that was, he says, oh yeah, it was whack. But it was whack. And then when Rah Digga comes in, because they start, you know, he comes in making fun, playing that Chris D'Elia clip.
yeah.
And stuff, which I got on my channel. Y'all should go ahead and check that out too. But, when he says that, and he's talking about how whack the thing was, and then when Rah Digga's like, I completely disagree with you, he kind of backstepped a few notches of how whack he thought it was. Then all of a sudden it was, okay, I just think that part wasn't that good to me. Then all of a sudden, but before it was, I think this was whack.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
started making me realize that's the exact second I was like, okay, this is emotion based.
I think, but see, Lord Jamar is a very, he's a hyperbolaist. If we want to put that in the art form term, he's very much like he talks like that a lot.
Hyperbolic.
Huh?
He's very hyperbolic.
Yeah, like he will say, like he'll say something is the wackest shit he's ever heard, knowing that it's not. But you know, so I mean, that's kind of how I took that. But like,
you know, what was mad? Well, my bad. Remember that point. But you know, what was mad funny style when he came in. He was like, "Yeah, I've been baiting you." When he started saying that, I was like, "So."
You was trolling? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what when I got. That's the vibe that I got from him was that this whole thing was like a.
Nah, because Lord Jamar doesn't have the right to have that vibe. Lord Jamar does not have the right to have that vibe. You cannot be the person who's sitting there on Vlad's couch every single week talking about how, like, just completely pooping on the entire new generation because of trolling and all this stuff.
Clout chasing and shit. And he damn near said he was clout chasing. He said, I got you to respond, and you responded.
When he made it a win-lose thing, when he said, if you respond, I'll win.
And what
I'll win.
Facts.
So then that kind of takes away your whole, I'm so solid, I'm only doing this for hip-hop sake.
Yeah.
It's more like, okay, I feel you, but just kind of express that, but you also kind of don't have the right to be that person. You attack the same people for doing that.
Yeah, that's a band. That's the first thing that I was thinking, like, when I was watching his interview, and I was like, man, I was like, that's kind of weird to hear you say, because you definitely be a nigga that's talking to Vlad 100% about how these clout chasing rap. Matter of fact, even the example of the wedgie in the pants shit. Like, it's like, bro, that's like you. Like, that's what you doing, bro. Like, you dead doing that shit. You just saying that you don't like the way that he does it. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, you...
Nah, that wedgie in the pants, like, he kept bringing that up, and I'm like, bro, I want to know what specific line he's talking
because
about.
It was something about... Because even at the end, I don't know if you've seen at the end part, but he was talking about... He was like, what do clowns do? They dress up in costumes. Name one time you found me dressed up in a costume. He's like, go to Google right now and find it. And then right before, like, not that this happened, but like right before niggas were able to like get their phone out fully, this nigga was like, I mean, there's this one costume that I was in, but it was for a movie or some shit. And I'm like, this dude here, but I don't know. He's just like, Lord Jamar is just he's just the old nigga, bro. Like, he's like the definition of like, Joe Budden can't get the old nigga award. Like, the old nigga award clearly goes to that nigga. And what's the other white dude that be on Vlad all the time? That sunned the fuck out of Vlad. You know what I'm talking about.
R-rated.
Facts. Both them two are they're the definition of what an old nigga is, dog. That's just a fact. What the fuck? You falling asleep, nigga?
Nah, but what was I saying? I'm thinking that I'm liking the fact that Rah Digga was there, because he definitely was just gonna keep on that hyperbolic train and just kept saying whatever he was saying if she wasn't there to check some of the stuff he was saying. And the thing that always throws me off has been the content argument, where it's like, M has content, you just don't like the content. And I think a lot of them are saying that from his singles, like that be like the Without Me's and stuff. But M has never not been somebody that has content. It's just been this content has been something that you don't like. That's why, because what is content? Content is only when you like it.
I think he's trying, because to me the point that he was trying to make was that he's a white man in a black man's culture, and none of us niggas. He's saying, like, as a whole, he'd be like, nigga, hip hop, none of us real niggas relate to that bullshit, because this nigga talking about drug abuse and raping his mom and shit like that, and it's like, that's not like. He's kind of just picking and choosing what he wants to like listen to from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, even though Revival is god awful. It had content. It was just Eminem always is rapping about. They're feeling like he doesn't. Like, I don't even understand the argument because they're literally saying he doesn't. Not having content, like, even though I love Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne is someone who doesn't really have content most of the time.
Yeah, majority of the time.
He's just rhyming words for the sake of rhyming words.
That's what Lord Jamar was trying to say Eminem does.
Yeah, but Eminem doesn't do that, though. Like, he doesn't really do that. Like,
no, he doesn't.
He seldom does that, honestly.
His songs are way more. Even his songs where he's trolling, a lot of them shits are more like.
I think they're listening to Eminem the way like certain like.
Yes.
Like certain like people listen to hip hop.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
They're just give you the caricature of it, but it's like, bro, you're literally talking about like without me.
Yeah.
And you're talking about. I know exactly what you're trying to say, but that's like. Eminem is always the problem is like it's stuff like you might not like the content, but you can't tell me he's not always rapping about either drug abuse, his family, domestic abuse.
But that's what's so odd though, because the niggas that he's talking about in hip hop, that's how they are. That's the shit that they rap. That's the people that Eminem looks up to. So it's like that's so fucking weird that like it's really just
Jamar doesn't want to come out and say that the majority of the reason of what he's saying is because he's white. As simple as that. That's just
1,000%. That's all it is. It's probably the only reason why he's saying what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because this wouldn't be another thing if it was a different rap. You know what I mean? Like if this was another rapper, this wouldn't even be the same type of question. Like
because there's plenty of rappers that Lord Jamar I feel like would co-sign who definitely have less content. Like I'll put it this way. Obviously my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. But Jay-Z has more songs like Money, Cash, Hoes, Money, Cash, Hoes, which is just literally brainless for the sake of being brainless, than Eminem does. Like
Eminem has never been a person that I don't think Lord Jamar is literally the only person that I've ever...
because that's a narrative that people are trying to kick now, like that he doesn't have content. Because Joe Budden even said on his podcast too, and I found that weird because how do you have an entire hour-long show where you're talking about the content in the album and why you don't like it? And then I
think they're misspeaking. I think that they're like saying that it's content, but they're equating it to something else. I think it you know what I mean? Like it's like
they're just saying they don't like it. I don't even think that's what they're saying. I think they're literally going off his singles. I think they know what they're saying is not true, so they're gonna go with the argument that the like people who don't know the person will go off of, and they're gonna go with the.
But even if you go with his singles though, okay. Without Me is nothing like Monster or
but they're literally talking about Guess Who's Back, Without Me.
But like bro, like then if that's the case, then that was fucking years ago. Eminem hasn't rapped like that for like
That's what they're talking about.
So what if they just like literally not listened to Eminem for the last 15 years?
Probably not. They don't look like Eminem fans. That's why they're going off of...
Well, I mean, Joe Budden obviously has, but like...
But Joe Budden is lying, though. Joe Budden knows what he's doing. Like, Joe Budden is trying to play into the narrative. Because if you would have asked Joe Budden the same... That's why the Joe Budden thing is the weirdest to me. And I feel like it's not even the... Because he used to damn near, like...
Yes.
Cape for M. So it's like, you can't now say... Oh, this whole time I knew I was lying. Because it's like, okay, so if you're just going to tell me that you don't have integrity, that doesn't mean that now I believe you. That just means
does.
Like
I mean, the thing about
doesn't have integrity.
Yeah, like 100%. Because like whole time when if Kamikaze would have dropped the same time that was it Revival his last one, that Revival dropped. Joe Budden would have been all on the fucking Everyday Struggle talking about this is the greatest album of all time. Yo, you remember when that Beyonce song dropped, bro? How this nigga was just nut hugging.
That's the part where, like, you would, okay, so you would say things that weren't true for things that are actually bad. And when people are like, dude, why are you saying this song is good? You say, I'm just giving my honest opinion and get people get mad. And then now you're on podcast saying that you never believed that. So it's just like, I don't understand why. Like, Joe Budden's credibility is murdered by that whole stance. Because it would be different. Because honestly, anybody else, and if Joel Ortiz came out and said some of this stuff, it would make more sense. Because I've never seen him actually cape for Eminem like I've seen, even when Eminem is wrong, like I've seen Budden do.
Oh yeah, Joe Budden is like, he's the king of like every side of the fence. Like Joe Budden is the most opportunist nigga. Like when it comes to what he says, it's anything that's convenient at the time that's gonna benefit him in that current situation of that argument. Like, Joe Budden will come with you to the fight to fight somebody else and somehow find himself on the other side fighting the nigga that he came with to fight the other people. Like, I don't know what's wrong with that nigga, bro.
I don't know, bro. But y'all check it out. I don't know. It's on Lord Jamar's channel. Y'all watch the whole interview. Put in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you agree with Lord Jamar? Oh, yeah. What about the part where Lord Jamar said the black people can't give Eminem the GOAT tier, which I don't understand.
He's basically trying to say that that nigga stole black culture. That he, like, used this whole Elvis analogy and shit like that, which is like, okay, but, like, I don't think that... It's really weird to call him a person that raps about a bunch of shit that you can't relate to, but then in the same token say that he's trying to steal your culture. That's odd to me.
Well, I just don't understand. Like, if you realistically could put anybody else, like, you're reaching then if you're putting anybody else but Jay-Z, Eminem, those two in the GOAT. You're literally reaching. Yeah. You're reaching because what you're gonna have to use some weird argument, and I'm gonna use a fact, like any fact in any scale of any measurement, whether it be sales, whether it be lyrical ability, whether it be battles, whether it be like literally on every scale. If the argument isn't those two, you're tripping. Because if you try to be like, nah, the argument is greatest of all time is Nas and Jay. Really? Like that's why I give most of the arguments because it's like we talking about someone who went quadrupling, like diamond, like would breathe out diamond records, and then people would be like, well, it's because he's white, and then it's like the same reason you think because he's whack is because he's no. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's corny, but I mean,
it's a reach. It's definitely a reach. Like, and if Lord Jamar would not understand, the reason why he has to make that statement is because he understands that it's an argument. That it could be an argument. So, I mean, that's the fact. Because it's like, bro,
But he's only arguing with niggas that he knows aren't going to be smart enough to bring that, you know what I mean, to his attention. He's talking with fucking Rah Digga and like, Vlad. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought it was hilarious how Vlad hit him up at 4 a.m. That dude is, my nigga Vlad is just, he was up all night waiting for Lord Jamar. He said, come in and do an interview. Are you serious?
This is my thing, though.
He literally lives upstairs, dude. That's why. He said, come downstairs and do an interview.
Wait, he literally lives upstairs from him?
No.
Oh.
But I'm saying, that's a joke, but I'm saying, like, how would you say that somebody was... Hold on! How would you say that somebody was, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying?
How would you say that somebody was, stealing or something?
Nah, I can't.
I don't know. But yeah, man.
Put in the comment section below what you think. All that other stuff I said earlier. Like, comment, subscribe. Going live at 9. Brrrah.
Wow.
time for all that flashy shit. Let's just get right to it, man. My mic on? Alright, listen. I'm dealing with tough shit, depression and some shit. All of this fuck shit I just cannot put up with. Shouldn't be upset cause I know that we up next. But what about success? It sucks too much stress. I'm dealing with tough shit, depression and some shit. All of this fuck shit I just cannot put up with. Shouldn't be upset cause I know that we up next. But what about success? It sucks too much stress, I guess. No one can hear you scream when you up this high, baby. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream. This the life that you asked for, but no one can hear you scream. Battling depression for a little bit. To me, I understand I was really sick. Maybe I wasn't understanding what it really is. To make a nigga wanna scream out like a little kid over some little shit. Can't give a fuck about what niggas is talking about, cause you ain't never been inside the shoes. I've been walking around it. You ain't never been inside the pool when the sharks is around it. You ain't never been up on the roof and talking me down. Before I jumped off, treating every girl I meet like a jump off. Cause that's the only way I know to hide these dumb scars. Cause I'm hurt, I'm calling every bitch a dumb broad. Damn. Now that's fuck, little dude, but it's easier to say and I got trust issues. It's easier to fake like I don't trust in you. Cause one day I'm afraid I won't fuck with you. Nah, and you don't fuck with Screw. And you gon' just decide to up and move. And you gon' take my joy and comfort too. And all of your stupid friends gon' comfort you. But trust this, Screw. If you make a song about what fucks with you, and you can touch somebody that get fucked with too, then forever worse the better they'll fuck with you. No one can hear you scream when you up this high, baby. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream. This the life that you asked for, but no one can hear you